Okay, I'm breaking all the rules. I'm doing everything they tell you not to do. Yes, I'm being a rebel. I'm going to talk about myself today on All About Adoption. So the reason why I'm going to talk about myself is because, you guys are going to sit there and think, who is this adoption lady? What gives her the authority to come into my home and talk about adoption? So let me tell you about my background. My name is Stephanie A, and yes, that's right, A, like the first letter of the alphabet. I have over 25 years worth of experience in adoption. So you know how when you graduate, you're like, have no clue what you want to do. So you decide to go ahead and apply for a job that you think you might enjoy and you want to put your skills to good use. That was me. I had no clue what I wanted to do when I graduated from college, like most college students. I did know I had interest in family life education, teenage pregnancy, and infertility. So I did know I had those interests. So I found out about a job that was at a maternity home, and I wanted to work in the maternity home. But when I applied, they said they had no positions in the maternity home, but they did in the adoption unit. And I said, well, I know nothing about adoption. And they said, that's okay, come and interview anyway. So I did. I was hired, and 9 months later, I fell into the position of being the child placement supervisor. So it's baptism by fire. So now, fast forward, I left that position to finish up my second master's degree, which was in social work. My first master's was in family life education. So I basically learned how to work with the family on preventing issues and then work with the family once they have issues. So I got the both ends with both of my master's degrees. So I don't regret any of that. So I started exploring opening my own agency because there were 3 other single person at the time child placing agencies in Kansas City. So I knew it was possible, and having worked in the adoption field for 4 years before I left to finish up my master's degree, I had connections with the attorneys. So by the end of the summer of doing my internship in hospital social work, I became licensed in Kansas. And then 2 months later, we were licensed in October, and that was back in 1998. So here we are. I have been in the adoption field for over 25 years. I started at the agency, what's called Adoption and Beyond. Still work here, still the executive director. The agency has now been around. This will be our 23rd year. So now let me tell you about my family. So this is a picture of my family. My husband and I have 5 children. 4 were biological children and 1 was adopted from foster care. We adopted our daughter when she was 8 years of age. She's now an adult. So that's just a little bit about myself also as an adoptive mom. When we adopted, we kind of broke all the rules. Our daughter, since she came from foster care, it's in essence pretty much a closed adoption. She was separated from siblings because the children were placed in other homes. She has 3 other sisters. She does have an open relationship with those sisters. They've recently just reconnected and had all gotten together for the very first time in the summer of 2020, and that was just a wonderful day for everyone. And then also we adopted out of birth order. She slipped right in above our youngest kiddo. So we've kind of broken some of the rules with adoption and what we practice in the adoption field. So I have a little experience not only professionally but also personally with adoption. So anyway, that's just a little bit about who I am, the adoption lady. I'm going to be doing videos like this once a week, so if you want to subscribe, you can push the button below, and we'll be sure that you keep up with everything that's adoption. Until then, bye.